They say she died from the bite of an asp, a serpent, hidden in a basket of figs. A peaceful death for a fallen queen. But the truth is far darker. August 30 BC. Alexandria. The last pharaoh of Egypt sits alone in her tomb. Not dead. Not yet. Alive. Waiting. Knowing what comes. Rome's armies surround the palace. Her children have been taken. Her lover lies dead by his own hand. And she knows what the Romans do to defeated queens. Cleopatra did not die peacefully. She died terrified, desperate, cornered. And what happened in those final hours has been hidden for 2,000 years. This is the true story of her last days. And it is far more horrific than any history book will admit. 10 days earlier, the Battle of Actium is lost. Mark Antony's fleet burns in the Adriatic Sea. Cleopatra stands on the deck of her royal vessel. Purple sails catching the wind. Fleeing. Not from cowardice. From calculation. She knows Octavian, Caesar's heir, Rome's future emperor. She knows what he wants. Not alliance. Not mercy. Victory. Complete. Total. And to achieve it, he needs her dead. But not just dead. Humiliated. Paraded through Rome in chains. A symbol of Egypt's defeat. She returns to Alexandria. The city does not know yet. The streets still hum with life. Markets. Temples. The great library. But in the palace, she knows. The end has come. Mark Antony arrives days later. Broken. Defeated. His legions have abandoned him. His allies have turned. In her private chambers, they speak. Not of victory. Not of hope. Of endings. He asks her to flee. Take the children. Gold. Ships. Escape to India. To the east. Live. She refuses. Not from pride. From understanding. Octavian will hunt her to the ends of the earth. Will kill her children to secure his power. Will erase her from history. A messenger arrives. Roman forces have landed. They march toward Alexandria. Days away. Perhaps hours. And in that moment, Cleopatra makes her choice. Not flight. Not surrender. Control. If she must die, it will be on her terms. Not Octavian's. But what she does not yet know is that Octavian has already planned for this. And his plan is far crueler than death. August 1st. Mark Antony leads his remaining cavalry against the Romans. A final stand. Hopeless. Doomed. Within an hour, his men desert. They kneel before Octavian. Beg for mercy. Receive it. Antony returns to the palace. Dust-covered. Blood-stained. Empty. He finds Cleopatra in her chambers. Surrounded by her handmaidens. Charmion. IRAs. Loyal to the end. She tells him the truth. Rome has offered her a choice. Surrender him. Give them Antony. And she will be spared. Her children will live. He waits for her answer. She has refused. They both know what this means. The Romans are at the gates. Not days away. Here. Now. Antony draws his sword. Not to fight. To die. Cleopatra tries to stop him. But he is already moving. He drives the blade into his own stomach. Roman fashion. Honorable death for a soldier. But the wound is not clean. He does not die quickly. Hours pass. He lies in her arms, bleeding, suffering. The palace guards have fled. The servants have scattered. Only Cleopatra and her handmaidens remain. Roman soldiers enter. They do not kill Antony. They watch him die. Slowly. This is Octavian's first message. Not mercy. Not swift death. Suffering. Antony dies at sunset. And Cleopatra is taken. Not to a cell. To her own tomb. Where something far worse awaits. The tomb is not yet finished. Half built. Dark. Cold. Stone walls. No windows. A single door. Cleopatra is sealed inside. With her handmaidens. With the body of Mark Antony. With her own sarcophagus. Empty. Waiting. This is not imprisonment. This is theatre. Octavian has guards posted. Not to keep her in. To keep others out. To prevent rescue. To prevent suicide. He wants her alive. For his triumph in Rome. Days pass. No food. No water. The guards deliver nothing. This is the second message. Starvation. Weakness. Breaking her will. On the third day, a Roman officer enters. Proculius. Octavian's man. He speaks gently. Offers food. Water. Comfort. Promises that Octavian wishes only peace. That she will be treated with honor. That her children are safe. Cleopatra does not trust him. She knows Rome. She knows what awaits her. But she is weakening. Days without sustenance. The tomb is cold. Damp. Her body begins to fail. Proculius returns each day. Always with the same promises. Always with the same lies. On the fifth day, Cleopatra asks for one thing. To bury Antony properly. According to Egyptian rites. Proculius considers. Then agrees. Priests are brought. Oils. Wrappings. Incense. But while the ceremony proceeds, Roman soldiers are doing something else. They are sealing every opening. Every gap in the tomb walls. Every crack that might allow poison to enter. Every window that might permit a weapon. Octavian knows she will try to die. And he is ensuring she cannot. The ceremony ends. Antony is entombed. Cleopatra returns to her vigil. But now she understands. She is not a prisoner waiting for execution. She is livestock being fattened for parade. And Octavian will keep her alive by force if he must. August 10th. Cleopatra has been in the tomb for 9 days. Weak. Feverish. Desperate. Word reaches her through a loyal servant. Bribed. Risking death to bring her news. Octavian is preparing to leave Alexandria. In 3 days, he will take her to Rome. In chains. Her children have been separated. Caesar Ion, her son by Julius Caesar, has fled. But Octavian's men hunt him. When they find him, he will be killed. Her other children, young, innocent, will be raised Roman. Taught to forget Egypt. Forget her. She asks the servant one question. Is there any mercy in Rome? The answer comes. No. Cleopatra turns to her handmaidens. Charmion. IRAs. Women who have served her for decades. Who have shared her power. Her glory. Who will share her end. They speak in whispers. of options, of hope, of the impossible. And then Cleopatra reveals what she has hidden. Not an asp. Not a serpent hidden in figs. Poison. Obtained weeks ago. Concealed in her garments. Missed by the Roman searches. But there is only enough for one. Her handmaidens refuse to let her die alone. They insist. They demand. Cleopatra divides the poison. 3 portions. Small. Uncertain. Enough to kill or enough to cause agony. They do not know. She writes a final letter. To Octavian. Asking only one thing. To be buried with Antony. Then she adorns herself. One last time. Gold diadem. Royal robes. The serpent crown of Egypt. If she must die, she will die as Pharaoh. Not as a prisoner. The 3 women join hands. They speak the ancient prayers. To Isis. To Osiris. To the gods of the Nile. And they drink. The poison is not asp venom. It is something worse. Hemlock. Or perhaps aconite. Plants that burn the throat. That seize the muscles. That bring slow suffocation. IRAs dies first. Within minutes. Convulsing. Gasping. Charmion lasts longer. She arranges Cleopatra's crown. Straightens her robes. Then she too falls. Cleopatra is alone. The poison works differently in her. Slower. More cruel. Her body fights it. Her mind remains clear. For minutes. Perhaps an hour. She lies on her couch. Dressed as Pharaoh. Dying as a woman. Terrified. In pain. Outside, the guards hear nothing. When they finally enter, they find 3 bodies. Cleopatra on her golden couch. Her handmaidens at her feet. One guard tries to revive her. Shakes her. Slaps her face. But she is gone. The last pharaoh of Egypt. Dead in a tomb. Not by Roman execution. Not by honorable defeat. But by her own hand. Poisoned. Desperate. Cornered. This is what history does not tell. Octavian is furious. His prize has escaped. But he is also cunning. He orders his historians to record a different story. A peaceful death. An asp. A basket of figs. A queen who died with dignity. Why? Because the truth makes her sympathetic. A desperate mother. A cornered woman. Fighting to the end. Rome cannot allow that. She must be remembered as exotic. Foolish. Weak. Not brave. Not defiant. And so the lie becomes history. For 2,000 years. But in that tomb in Alexandria, 3 women died in agony. Not peacefully. Not nobly. But terrified. Poisoned. Alone. And somewhere in the darkness of history, Cleopatra still lies waiting to have her true story told.